What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Kapoorcast. I'm trying something different this week. Let's take this back to the beginning. My name is Rishab Kapoor. I went to the most esteemed undergrad program in the country where I graduated with a 4.0 GPA. Not only that, but I completed 3 different full majors. That's right, I triple majored. A BS in finance, BA in mathematics, and computer science. Proof? Let's just say I can prove that not all infinities are equal with words that you've never even heard of. By the way, advanced math has literally 0 numbers. It looks like hieroglyphs. After grad, I moved to the nicest part of New York City because New Jersey people are too afraid to go out and actually explore different parts of the world. And for the last 3 years, I've been living in my shallow abode, working at the world's best and most generous tech company and building wealth for the future. No, really though, it's not a bad life. I have a stable job, I live in my favorite city in the world, I travel when I want, and I get to spend my free time with friends and family. So why shouldn't you follow my path? Why shouldn't you triple major? Because it's a waste of your time. And I got lucky. Here's why I ended up doing it. I had no idea. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I just picked something. Let's be honest, not all of us had older siblings guiding us when we were younger. Hassan Minhaj put it best. There's a link to his favorite comedic bit of mine, check it out in the bio. And not all of us had parents who went to college in the US. So it's literally one really sweaty, nervous, 15-minute chat with your guidance counselor at like 6 in the morning. We're just telling you 500 different things about colleges and college apps and Common App and all this shit that you have to do. And then you have to pick what schools you're applying to. There's business school, engineering school, art school, school of agriculture, you name it. And every different college has different schools that you can apply to, and sometimes you have to pick what specific school you're applying to during your application when you're just worried about writing the best essay that you can think of for your Common App. And don't even get me started on the cost and worrying about scholarships and all that stuff later. Is it just me? I'm getting stressed just thinking about this again. And like I said, I had no idea what to do, so I just applied to business school. Because engineering felt a little bit enclosed, like they had their own application specifically, and it seemed more competitive, and their classes seemed kind of boring and rigid, like you have to take this and this math class. And I was like, I want to be doing something a little bit more social, a little bit more teamwork oriented, you know, setting me up with like more soft skills and also combining the technical skills and something less sweaty, and all my friends were doing it too. So I just sent business school, and halfway through freshman year I realized I gotta do something else, at least like in addition to my business major. Part of it was because the core curriculum that everyone has to do in business school seemed kind of like a waste of my time. The classes were kind of a joke, in my opinion. I'm kind of a nerd, but it felt like middle school with like group projects and presentations. The exams were like mostly multiple choice, but I swear I also had exams that were like fill in the blank with a word bank. Word bank is crazy. In college, forgot to mention, I'm kind of a nerd, or at least I was in high school. No, I still am. And I was book smart. Take what you can get, you know? And I wanted to be actually challenged in the classes, so I said, all right, I'll keep doing my business major. But since I had more time, I came into college with a lot of AP credits. Like I said, I was a nerd. But since I had time, I was like, let me do something else. Let me do something hard, something like a hard technical skill that I can actually take with me outside of college. And I remembered my Indian parents who'd been bugging me this whole time, buzzing in my ear every other day. Beta, tech is big. Your cousin is doing computer science. Your uncle works at Google. You should talk to him. Buzzing all this time. So I said, fuck it. Let's just kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Computer science is hard. It's a valuable technical skill, and it'll get my Indian parents off my back. So let's just do that. So I took on some computer science intro classes for the 2nd semester of my freshman year. At the end of the year, I felt pretty good about my decision, and I even had an internship lined up for the summer. Turned out the business internship was actually just selling Verizon phone products door to door. Not a fun time. So I quit like 2 days in. Nobody said I wasn't a quitter. I'm a bitch, I guess. I did not like going door to door. I had the rest of my summer left, and I was like, why not take some summer classes? And then somewhere this like idea popped into my mind. I had heard that my friend's older brother did a triple major when he was at Duke, and I thought, holy grail, like this is the coolest thing ever, like you're so dope. I did some quick math, and I was like, with my summer classes and my AP credits and taking like an extra class for like, you know, 2 semesters, I can actually triple major. I also really loved math and all the math classes that I was taking freshman year, and I had always loved it. I love how there's always a right answer. Like I said, I'm a bit of a nerd, so I was like, I'm just gonna add this math major in here too. And the clout chaser that I am, and thinking about how awesome it would be when I finally graduated and say that I did it, I sent it, and I did it. I did all 3 majors. Woohoo! Where's the confetti at? Ooh. Woo, imaginary confetti because no one cares. None of this is a flex. I say all that because I always think, was it worth it? And the answer is no. Because what also happens during college is we have to hunt for jobs. People seem to forget sometimes in all the fun and the partying that college is supposed to be primarily a gateway to employment after college. It's a place to find jobs. It's not just a place for partying, substances, and never drinking water. Although that's definitely part of it. Which reminds me. So during internship season, sophomore, junior year, I still had to pick. Am I going into tech or finance? Am I doing a business internship or engineering? What's the goal here? So I ended up kind of choosing both. And that was a big mistake because I ended up studying for both types of interviews and I ended up just dividing my time and cutting myself way too thin. I already had limited time, so that just didn't work. It didn't matter that my grades were so good and the classes that I was taking was so cool because I just screwed up all the interviews. All the good interviews that I got because of having the majors, and I just was not prepped enough. I decided to finally lock in for my final Amazon interview in February of my junior year, nothing else having worked out. And even with that, I had to get really lucky. I got some easy questions in the interview. The interviewer helped me code the answer to the question. I got put on a wait list, and then 2 months later in May, they finally got back to me, end of May, to tell me that I got the internship and I was gonna start in like 2 weeks in June. So until that point, I had nothing lined up for my junior year internship. Nothing. I was screwed. I was screwed. The truth is, I got lucky. I know if I had just picked a lane in the beginning of this whole process, it would have saved me a lot of time and stress, and I would have done way better because I had to end up picking a lane anyway. And what about now, right? I have this big boy job at this big tech company. I picked a lane, finally, tech. Not really though, because I'm still not sure about it. I actually ended up applying to law school and got into my dream law school, and that's a whole other thing we'll get into another time. Maybe I'm just indecisive as a person. I don't even have a favorite ice cream flavor. Yeah, I have this great job experience. I have the background of 3 majors with really good grades from college, and I'm only a few years out of college. So isn't this still a good experience for me to just have in my back pocket, you know? Yeah, no. Already, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares that I did 3 majors in college. 3 years out of college, nobody cares that I studied finance because I've been working as an engineer. So no good bank or fintech company is gonna hire me for a non-tech role. They're only gonna want me for software engineering just because that's what I've been doing. Does not matter what I did in college. I mean, you guys have seen the job markets right now. It's like you need 3 to 5 years of experience for a summer internship out of undergrad. It's insane. What is going on? If I did actually want to switch into a role that was different from engineering and less on the tech side, finance, or like completely different sector like banking or asset management, I would have to go get my MBA or something. And that's a whole nother degree. Heck, I even have friends who are getting their MBA so they can switch from engineering to product management. And both of those are in tech. I work with product managers every day. That's crazy. But it's just what the job market looks like nowadays. I even asked my manager if I could switch into something a little more in between engineering and like a little bit on the non-tech side, like solutions engineering, you know, project management, solutions architect. And he was straight up like, yeah, no, it's really difficult to go from tech to a non-tech role. I was like, what? This whole time, college, since I've been working, I've had this thought in my head, like, yeah, let me study something technical in college so I can have that background and those skills that I can build upon. And if I ever want to go into like a non-tech role, you know, something more customer facing or teamwork oriented, like I already have the soft skills just by being a social human. I can switch into that pretty easily because I have this tech experience and, you know, Excel's not that difficult for me to learn if I know how to code in all these languages, but it's just not like that. It's all about the experience that you have at this point. It's still possible, and it is still true that it's probably more difficult to go from a non-tech role to a tech role like engineering if you haven't done that or studied that, but it's not easy by any means. All this to say, everyone has their own path, and you can really only know if the decisions that you make in high school and college were the right decisions like years after them. I probably still don't know if I made the right decision, and I could be completely wrong here. But I'm telling you now, majoring in 2 or 3 different things and getting a minor and getting that background is not the safety net that you might think it is. Maybe no one else thought that, but I'm sharing it because that's what I thought. A couple years out of college, or heck, even right out of college, it does not hold that much value that you studied multiple things. The internships are really what get you into the role and space that you want. And you can't do a double internship. You have to pick a role. You have to pick a space. And if you're doing the extra major because you think it'll make your resume stand stand out in your internship and job applications, it doesn't do all that much. I mean, think about it. Think about all the friends that you have that are maybe double majoring or have a minor or 2 minors. Heck, I even know people who make up a lie on their second major just because they took 1 or 2 classes and just put it on their resume and get the interview and the job, and then they just don't do the major. So you might as well do that. Don't put yourself through all the unnecessary hard work if you don't really care about the classes you're taking and what you're learning. Really try to just own in and pick what you really want to do. What do you want to do when you're out of college? What do you want your day to look like? You want a lot of meetings and working with team members a lot and working across teams? Or do you want to be mostly solo and just get your work done and not have to talk to people more than required? You want to be mentally challenged and have to do a lot of problem solving on your own? Or would you rather just get like menial, difficult tasks and just like pound them out like a robot because you don't want to do all the thinking and you're just a hard worker and maybe that's a little bit easier for you? Are you creative? Do you want to enjoy your job, or do you mostly just care about the paycheck at the end of the week? There aren't any right or wrong answers here, but you want to be asking yourself these questions early. College, high school, earlier the better. Start researching what type of jobs you like, because the harsh truth, you're gonna be working for a while. I think the retirement age is like 67, so I have at least 40 more years to go. That's crazy. Figure out what you like, even if it just sounds kind of cool, and go after that. I heard this quote that said, "You don't know what you want to do? That's fine. Use the best of your knowledge right now and pick something, and do it. Pick a lane. It doesn't have to be the right one. Major in it. If it doesn't work, feel free to switch. Don't try to add on like I did. You don't have to do both or all of them. Use your free time to go join clubs, make friends, network, be social. That's also helpful for getting jobs. And just spend your time getting ready for the rest of your life, because I don't know who needs to hear this, but it comes at you fast. I have a lot of thoughts on this stuff because I've done it, I've made the mistakes, and I live to tell the story. I also think existentially about life on the daily. Maybe I should stop. But I hope this was helpful for even one person. And if it was, that's enough for me. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments if you have. I'm always happy to help. If you like hearing me blab about my career and things like that, I might have some more videos for you coming up. Let me know, because I'm happy to make more videos if that's helpful for you guys. Okay, bye.